What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So we got a Patreon request. I think this is the first Dragon Ball Patreon request. We got Super Saiyan Goku versus legendary Super Saiyan Broly, like original Super Saiyan Broly. So I'm on a landscape page, use a pencil eraser and hit pause if you go too fast. We got Goku kind of launching in here, big fist down the front, and Broly sort of jumping back this way, right? So take your time. It's always complicated with characters in these dynamic poses, in these sort of fight poses, right? So take your time, hit pause, pencil, sketch, all that kind of stuff, okay? So let's go. Center point of my page is about here, right? So Goku's face is like in the middle. He takes up most of the image. So Goku's head is like in this space, right? So I'll probably have to zoom in for you. How's the zooming in working? I hope it helps. Some people said they like looking at the whole page, but most people said they like to zoom in. So we'll zoom in. We'll keep doing it for a while anyway and see what people think. So right here in the middle, I like to start with the noses when characters in profile, okay? So we've got this kind of, we're going to do his like nose first. So we've got this kind of spike out this way, okay? Kind of curves that way. Right, and then the nose will sort of, it's pretty pointy. It comes down and in here. So we have this kind of Z sort of shape. You know, so his nose sticks out here. Okay, and then his forehead at the top of this goes up pretty far, right? Probably goes even further than that. Like around towards his hair, real long. Okay, it's definitely like twice this. Like it's nearly twice this Z shape. Once, twice, up to the top. So this is his brow, nose, brow. If you know where the brow is, you know where the eyebrow is. That's why the eyebrow is called the eyebrow. So, science. So the tick for his eyebrow comes out this way. Typical sort of Dragon Ball kind of tick or check mark, just up like that. And then we have to thicken this up. So we just add like a square end. And then this will go back down and curved into there. Okay, so then in underneath that eyebrow, we have that typical Dragon Ball sort of eye, right? So we go a long line like so. So this kind of looks like a letter T or something. And then this goes right down to the front of his eyebrow. So it like keeps going down all the way to there. And then it'll eventually sort of disappear in here. His iris, so he's looking sort of like this way. He's trying to attack. So you can just see the oval sort of line for his iris, like coming down here, right to the front. So it's right in that bottom left-hand corner of his eye. So then we'll keep going and we'll do the check marks that are underneath his cheek. Like so. And then his nose, he's got a shadow underneath this little triangle that's there. It's just the Dragon Ball style of noses that they like to do. So then his top lip comes out, in, right? And he's gritting his teeth, right? So we curve this around like that. Kind of looks like his mouth is closed. But to open it up, you just go down, around, like a letter C kind of, you know, curves around this way. But it's got angles. And this goes all the way down to his bottom lip, which is there. So it kind of looks like, if you turn it this way, it's like someone's head. Like say if that's the shoulders. Kind of, that's what it looks like to me anyway. And then his teeth at the front. So you've got just a line, two bumps there. And then a bit of like teeth just sort of drawn in like that. They don't join together in Dragon Ball. So from the bottom lip, then we have his chin, and their chins are quite long. So it like comes down that way. and then it'll go back in, like so. Could have a bottom lip sort of line, like, you know, sort of a shadow kind of thing there. Maybe like some stretch lines around his lips. His jaw then, up this way. So we're like, it's like we're looking up, right? So the jaw is kind of in line with his bottom lip there, or like the side of his mouth. If you went sort of horizontally, it's probably in line. Like if you used your ruler just to check. Yeah, like his mouth or like tip of his nose. That's how high up you want to go with the jaw. And like roughly like the nose will be halfway between, like, say the eyebrow and the chin. So like here to here, say the nose to the chin, this distance will roughly bring you up to nearly the top of his eyebrow. So like here to here is roughly the same as here to here, that length. Okay. So then the rest of his jaw goes up that way. And then the ear is here. So it's just like, say, in line with his pupil, like the color part of his eye. So the earlobe, it will be here. And this goes all the way up, real big ears in Dragon Ball, past the level for his eyebrow. So we got some lines inside there. So like bones and ligaments sort of stuff. So like cartilage for the ear. There's no bones in the ear. One of you actually corrected me in the comments. There's no bones in the ears, dude. My mistake. So cartilage and ligaments and stuff like this. And then some just like ear lines. And, you know, if you want like scratch marks and, you know, like sweat and stuff like that on his face. So hair, we'll go for hair. So he's got 4 fringe spikes, right? So sometimes 5, but we can only see 4 because it's turned to the side. So say at the top of his forehead here, just above the eyebrow, we've got a spike that kind of comes in and covers some of his eye. It like nearly touches the corner of his eye, so it covers some of his eyebrow. And then goes back around. Down like this. Big spike there. And then this one comes out from behind it, touches his ear, back down onto his face like that. Next one, out like so. And of course, if you go over any lines for his eyes, like here, you can just erase those because you should be drawing with pencil anyway. Or you can color over them. Another spike there, another little one in behind. Like so, right? So his head is facing that way. Now, so Dragon Ball hair, right? So you got to think sort of candle flame. That's the sort of thing that I always keep in my mind, right? So the light comes out from the back of his ear here. It's just at the back of his neck. So this is like his muscly sort of neckline, I guess, there. And then hair all grows out this way. We're going, I'd say the peak of it will be like up here somewhere. So real big, right? So say we got like a small spike here. And then it gradually gets bigger. Going out. This is like the biggest one there, like that. So we're going up here and the rest will come back towards this one. So we'll go over here, right? So we'll go, you know, and you could do them more curved or more angled, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like it changes throughout the animation, like sort of, you know, GT, Dragon Ball Z, so it's always different. It's just once you get this sort of general kind of shape that goes like up that way, you'd be good to go. And he has a couple, like two, just kind of coming across here, like another layer. And then there's texture lines all over. And to do these, you just add a few lines like this that follow the sort of shape for his hair. And you can do as much of this as you want. So I think I'll just sort of leave it like that. I think that's enough for me. Okay, so now anatomy. So this is the hard part because he's launching himself this way, right? So we've got like a foreshortened arm. So that means like the arm here is like real big and the arm back here is real small because it's far away, right? So perspective and all that kind of stuff. So we'll start with his neck anyway. So coming out from his chin, we got a line going like this. And then kind of like his Adam's apple sort of area here. And then we meet a big shoulder, right? That's in front, okay? So it kind of joins his trapezius as well. But say like here. So we'll just go out like a big basketball or something, like just big curved line there. There's like another deltoid muscle like here. So this goes around like that, right? And then you have his trapezius sort of here. And some neck muscles coming down from like his jaw, just there. So there's an arm that comes down to an elbow, which goes forward to his hand, right? So say here, like this is his shoulder. So you'll have, say like his trapezius will go like out here, right? The top of that trapezius muscle. And then say like muscles on muscles. So like lots of these bumping kind of curved line muscles, right? That, right? It's like a mountain range. And then this goes back to an elbow there. Right? So a lot of these bumping lines now represent some of his muscles. Every now and then you might have some hatching and stuff and a line there. So he's got a forearm going this way and it gets, it's foreshortened. So what that means is like it's not as long as you would think. Right? If your fist, say like if I turn my hand gradually towards the camera, this gets bigger and this all gets sort of shorter. That's why it's called foreshortening. So this elbow will go this way and then his forearm will go here. But this is like where we meet his wrist, right? So we've got like his wristband just here going around his arm. Right, and the other side of it will go just kind of, it's kind of ripped and torn. Right, kind of like that, right? So then the rest of his forearm goes back towards the elbow, like that, right? So you kind of can see it now. So real foreshortened arm. right? And then his fist here. Now his fist is massive. It's like bigger than his head, right? Because it's the closest thing to the camera, right? So we've got his thumb going out here. So like when you make a fist, you know, your thumb is in front of your fingers, right? So this kind of goes out there, but all the fingers are here, right? They're like they're in front of it. Thumb is in front of the fingers, so you'll have like 4 sort of bumps for knuckles. 1, and they get smaller as we go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the little finger, which goes down to here. That's the little finger knuckle, right? So each of these is a finger, right? So we'll just draw a line, and to show that there's a bit of skin here, we just do a little kind of a V at the end of that line. So it kind of looks like a real long letter Y. And then we do the same thing there. So the fingers go in this direction, and then again here. So his index finger is kind of squished in sort of behind his knuckle here, right? So you can see sort of like a folded over skin sort of shape just underneath the thumb, right? So like here, it's just like folded over inside there. And then there's like some skin folds for the thumb kind of section here as well, for where the thumb is kind of bending over. And you've got some knuckle lines just here, and some knuckle lines along here as well for these knuckles. Okay, so you got like the hand going back that way, and then this here too, these knuckle lines as well. And some knuckle lines here, like that. All right, so you see now, so that's the hand, right? So it's real big. It's bigger than his whole face, just if you're wondering about scale, right? So more detail on this arm. So we've got like some bicep line stuff inside here, right? So just his bicep coming around this way. Like in there. And again, some scratches. On his skin. So he's winding up a punch back here, right? So he's got, again, more curved lines, muscles on his muscles. So his back sort of going this way, right? And his back will come down around his elbow, and then you'll have the shoulder on that, right? So say like another sort of bumping line here, and then his back muscle will go this way, right? And his spine is like going up here. Of course, it's not bony, it's just like muscle lines. Like that. Then like maybe sort of like this, right? And his shoulder on this side comes out from here, so it'll go real big, bumping out like this, and then around this side, bumping out there, right? Like some lines like so. So then his elbow winding up a punch out here. So we've got his tricep kind of here. And then his bicep at the top there. And then some more muscle lines in here. And what we can see of his fist on this side, so the punch is going this way. So we can just see like his index finger here with a knuckle sort of at the top. And this hand goes back with another knuckle line there. And then his wristband, ripped and torn, just sort of with fabric lines on it like that. And just the side of his thumb, just like that. And then the rest of his arm sort of goes back off my page that way. Bit of an elbow there. If you have more room, feel free to fit it in. It's a very easy image to find as well. Just type in Super Saiyan Goku versus Broly. So it just can't fit in the elbow there. Okay. So then his back down here, and then he has all ripped and torn, classic sort of Goku waistband, kind of ripped, just these zigzag lines. You can do this anyway. There's a blue ripped section and a orange ripped section. And this just goes along his waistband all the way there. So that's the blue section, and then the orange, just as, like, you can do this anyway. I'm not being too careful. It's just like spikes and zigzags and stuff like that. His leg will go off that way, and then he seems to have like a waistband that goes like a tied section that just goes underneath this, going that way, and then his like leg folds for his pants, like going all this way. All right, so that's Goku, right? Hard enough body position, but looks cool. So we'll go over and we'll give Broly an attempt, right? So Broly, he's kind of more front on. It's kind of semi sort of 3/4 pose, right? So just across from Goku, his head is like here. So we'll go with the frowning W in the middle of his head. Right, so we go right just there, right? So that's like the middle of his forehead. And the eyebrows will come out from that, typical Dragon Ball, so it just ticks up like so. Square at the end. And then goes down to there. And then out the other side. This one's kind of a little bit bigger than this one because his head is a little bit turned away on that side. Okay, so you can see like the angle now. The eyebrow goes up and down. Okay. So eyes, so we've got like the big eye on this side. So a long line, short line, and then goes up to there. And then here, so we got like the long line, and the short line just goes in towards his eyebrow, so it goes off into here. And he has no circles in his eyes, so we can just leave them like that, makes it easier. He has some like frown lines just there above his eyes. So his nose kind of hooks out like so. Goes back around to there. And then we can see some of the shadow on the side. That. So he's gritting his teeth as well, so it comes out from underneath his nose, right? So it goes around like this. You can see a little bit of it on the other side coming out from the other nostril. Down like that. And these join together across that bottom lip. Just there. And then again, some teeth just going in here. So you see now the nose is like touching, it becomes the sort of line for his top lip. They're like joined to the one line. And we got those check marks that are underneath his eyes, Dragon Ball character's eyes. And he could have some lines, just stretch lines there, and a bottom lip line. So chin, just here. So you see now the center line for the face. And our proportions are about the same, like say the top nose to top of his eye, say, where the eye joins the eyebrow, is about the same as nose to chin. So here to here, about the same as here to here. So if you went this way, nose to ear, about the same as there to there. Now he's in 3/4 pose, so what that means is like you've a jaw and then a cheek, right? So the jaw on this side will go up to there, and then it'll go in, right? So that's the jaw bone, right? Because that side of his face is turned away, we can only see cheek, right? So it goes up to there, and then it bends in for his cheek, and then it goes out towards his forehead. Right, so it goes out here, and then around for his forehead, just at the eyebrow there. Okay, so then we got an ear coming out here, and he's got an earring, right? So we got like earlobe line. You could draw the whole ear first, but while I'm here, I might as well just draw the earring. Just loops around like this. And then the rest of his ear just goes that way. And then we have ear lines inside. Now his ear goes underneath hair, right? So there's like a sideburn here. You know, and you can't see the rest, the top of the ear. It's kind of cut off by hairline, right? So you can just leave it like that. You can draw the whole ear if you want and erase it, but I'll just do it simply like this. Right, so then all that hair. So massive sort of Broly hair, so lots of hair spikes and stuff, and lots of his fringe, right? So it kind of comes out from the middle of his forehead here, right? So first goes up, down, back up, around into the middle, okay? And the ear will go up to there. And then this side comes up, out, back up, and in. And then his hairline sort of will have some hairline going back. Like so. Next, so we go, keep going. So we go up, down, back in. And then the next one, we go up, down, back in. And these kind of go up in steps all the way back, right? So we'll just keep going. So we go, these kind of stick up. All right, like that. And then this one will go probably off my page, yeah. Just goes up that way, goes to a spike and comes back in. Another small spike here. Another one here. Another one here. And here. This one will go in towards his head. Right, and then more back here. Lots of spikes, way more than Goku. Let me see. 1, 2. Right, and then some smaller ones back here. Like that. Another one in there. Smaller one in there. So many. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, so that's all the hair spikes, and then we gotta add like some texture lines. So you just do all this stuff all over. Right, so that's his hair. That's a lot of hair, right? So now we got this sort of necklace that's hanging down here, right? So it's, the top of it sort of starts here and the other side over here, right? Close to his jaw there, and underneath the hair on this side, because his body's turned away as well. So comes down this way, curves around and up to there, okay? So the center line for his body kind of curves this way. And it's held on by a piece of rope, which curves around here, goes out around this way, and then goes down to there, and we got this V that goes up this way. Right, and then another piece of rope that's kind of holding it on. Then he has those jewels. Like so, and like maybe like another sort of texture line around it, and like an edge line. Like that. This rope will go like behind his neck. And it's kind of like tied here. So we've got these loops sort of tied, you know, like you tie your shoelaces or something. So like something. Tied like that. And then it'll go behind his neck. So his neck goes all the way back this way. Like so. Okay, so this is like all shoulder and chest, right? So we've got like a chest muscle that goes this way. And the top of that chest on this side is here. So that's his big chest muscle, and this one goes that way, right? So then this has sort of an edge going back here. And a nipple just there, right? So there are his chest muscles, and this one's really big because it's close to us, like Goku's fist, right? So then his shoulder muscles are like here, just these lines that show where his trapezius join his deltoids, right? So his shoulder muscles. And then he starts some abs and obliques and stuff just here. So like ab muscles then, so like he's got this line that goes this way. And then another ab here. Another ab going this way. And then the center line, another ab there. And he's got this like red robe, right, that comes around here. So go say up bumps, coming around like this. Right, so it's wrapped around his stomach, just that sort of belly button level, right? The other side goes out this way. There. So this is just all sort of fabric lines and stuff going that way. And then like maybe another ab muscle there. There. So, right, the rest of this robe, so it's this red sort of bumping around, wrapped around his waist here, and it goes in behind another golden medallion, which is in here, and this goes that way. And he's got a blue jewel. Like that. Okay, so like more of this robe. So it's just like all these sort of folding lines that stick out this way. It's like flying sort of in the air. Right? It's just like it's all these fold lines, these fabric lines that just show fabric folds. And his legs kind of stick out down, way down here somewhere. So you can't really see them. So a couple more details now and we're done. So he's got some neck muscle lines in here. Right. And like that way. And the back of his shoulder muscles will be here. And they kind of go behind his hair. Like that way. And then we got like some rope lines on his jewelry. And like in the image I'm drawing from, right, there's like a fist on the top. Now it's really optional. You could leave it like this. Like it looks fine. It looks like his arm is like just behind him somewhere. But he is actually throwing a fist up here. So I'll draw in what I can fit, but I can't fit it all in. So say that's, so it's like, you could stop here and you're done, right? And that's how you draw Goku versus Broly. But if you want to keep going and add the fist, you can. I'll just add what I can see. It's just up behind his head here. Right, so you just have the thumb. Just there, and then like the knuckles just here. 1, 2, 3, and like a 4th here. And so this is like fingers and stuff, and like a thumbnail just there with some knuckle lines. And then his fingers kind of folded. The back. Like some fold lines here. Some knuckle lines there. So you can just see like, and he's got this gold amulet on his arm. His arm is like all the way back here. You can't really see the top. You can just see like a little bit. Okay, so that's optional because you can't really see. Well, I can't. You can't sort of fit it in anyway. So, well, I can't, but I can fit it a little bit. So that's what I did. Right, and of course, you know, flying sort of directional lines, you know, dots and debris and all that kind of stuff in between you could do as well. You know, like rocks in the air and all this kind of stuff if you want. But that's optional. Okay, how to draw legendary Super Saiyan Broly versus Goku Super Saiyan 1. Hope it was helpful. Thanks for the request. Anyone else has specific requests like this, head on over to Patreon if you can afford it, and I'll get right on it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.